Welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna play more of the 14 days with you. We're gonna start with day 2. Oh wait, no, that was the wrong one. We're gonna do day 2. So we're right here in day 2. The sound of birds chirping happily outside pulls me from my slumber. As the streaks of sunlight peek through the blinds of my window and cast a warm glow across my skin. Gradually, I turn on my side and smash my head into the pillow to block out the light, only to hear the faint sound of tapping to my left. Cracking one eye open, I was surprised by the screen in front of me. Rin was already awake, perched up against the headboard as he idly scrolled through his phone. It seems he was waiting for me to wake up, judging by how he immediately puts his phone down as soon as we make eye contact and sends me a soft smile. Almost sheepishly, I shoot him an awkward smile, a smile of my own, before covering my face with a pillow once more. Had Ren been watching me sleep, I hope I wasn't drooling. For sure he's been watching you sleep for longer. Morning angel. His voice pulls me from my thoughts, and I couldn't help but notice how attractive he sounded this morning. His gruff, sleepy tone was rather pleasant to hear, and I found myself wanting to continue the conversation. Lifting my head from the safety of my pillow, I was greeted with Ren's soft demeanor once more. I appreciate if you weren't so chipper this early in the morning. Oh, you'll be this chipper too if you realize that you weren't murdered in your sleep last night. Yeah, because I have my old Yandere watching me, which can only mean one thing. That creepy guy didn't come back to your apartment last night. I'm gonna say because he's probably in the bed with me. He seems almost smug as he leans closer to me, and it was then that I realized just how pretty he looked underneath the morning light coming from my window. It wasn't fair that he got to look so in thrill and glowing this early in the morning, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to praise his looks or throw a pillow at his head. Rin doesn't seem to pick up on my speechless nature though, as he continues to beam down at me with such a soft look. And I found myself wanting to look away in fear of making things even more awkward. I guess I did a good job, huh? He's a bit too smug. If you ever need my service again, I'll be more than happy to oblige. For free, of course. You're really talkative in the mornings, aren't you? I can't help it. I got to wake up next to a real kitty this morning. I think there's a mistake right here. Should be. I don't know. Oh, as if nothing really noticing how close he was to me, or maybe realizing that he dropped his usual stutter, Ren immediately pulls back and turns his head away. Anyway, now that you're awake, would you like to go out for breakfast? I think the cafe near the pier is open now. We could go check out like a date, but only if you want to. Why did he suddenly switch again? I figured we'd at least be a tiny bit closer, especially considering that we shared a bed, but maybe I was wrong? You mean Driftwood Cafe? I didn't even know it was open to the public yet. Really? Well, we better what better way to find out than by finding out, I guess. I rolled my eyes as a lame attempt at a joke before growling into my pillow. Did he seriously want to check out the breakfast? Go out for breakfast this early in the morning? Man, he was seriously a trooper. With a sigh, I reluctantly sit up and stretched my limbs. From that action alone, it was like I could see Rin's eyes on me. But as soon as I turned my head, he was already staring holes in the blanket with a blush on his cheeks. Shaking my head to dismiss those thoughts, I let all my joints pop before breaking the silence once more. So driftwood calf. In the end, Rin and I decided to walk to the calf together, considering how the weather was perfect and it wasn't that far away from my apartment. Turning to my side, I noticed how the pink-haired man tries to not so subtly seek side glances towards me. The arm on his side practically itches to reach out, as if I knew, and if I knew any better, I would have assumed he wanted to hold my hand. But instead, he simply tucked his hands into his pockets and shot me yet another soft smile. The weather's really nice today, huh? Back to small talk, it seems. Sure is. If I had known it would be this nice and sunny, I would have suggested spending the day in the beach instead. Yeah? Yeah, we could go to swim or maybe even check out the rock pools. It's been a while since I've been there. Oh, that does sound fun. Just wave! At the sound of my name being called, I turned on my heels, only to find Leon running up to me with a sports bag full of what I assumed to be his volleyball gear. Hey yo, Sunfish, it's good to see you. How and about this early? I was just on my way to the beach, and to meet up with, what did I put his name as? Jay. And Tio. Wanna tag along? Hey, it's wrong, right? Nice to see you again, buddy. It's Rin, actually. Sunfish? Yeah. Sunfish is a cheesy nickname Leon gave me when we were kids. I don't really get it either, to be honest. So Sunfish and Rin, was it? Sorry about that, bud. I'm not too good with names. Faces too sometimes. But hey, it's good to see you both again. Doing anything exciting today? If not, you can tag along with me and... Angelfish and I were going to go on a date, actually. Angelfish? A date? I don't miss the way Ren suddenly pulls my arm closer to his side, nor the way he clings onto me as though I suddenly disappeared. I'll suddenly disappear. You're going on dates again, Darl? Good for you. I'm glad to see that you're coming out of your shell again. Take good care of her for me, will ya, bud? What do you think I've been doing ever since you moved? What do you think I've been doing ever since you moved away? Sir? I just moved back too. And we just met. Okay, I already know you're out there and you've been watching me. Like me, Leon barely seems to notice Ren's mumbling as he rests an arm over my shoulder and starts tugging me in the direction of the beach. Ren, on the other hand, still watches onto my arm, but doesn't seem to move. I can't believe my little sunfish is out there in the dating scene again. I feel like a proud father. Oh please, We're basically the same age. I feel like a proud adoptive father. Leon pretends to wipe a tear away from his eyes as he leans forward in my shoulder, and it was only then that I noticed Rin wasn't following us. I'm gonna say it kind of reminds me of Kaneki. Not Kaneki. Tamaki from on High School Host Club. I'm your adopted father. I'm your father. Turning around, I reach out to grab his hand instead to tug him along. He immediately seems to perk up at the action and entwines his fingers with mine before falling into step. Alright, as fun as it is to catch up with my proud adoptive father, who's the same age as me, which makes the things kind of weird, Rin and I do need to get going. Oh yeah, of course, I didn't mean to take up so much of your time. He unhooks his arm around my shoulder and inclines his head towards the beach one more time. But my offer still stands. If you want to catch up some more, I'll be down at the beach with... Oi! Speak of the devil. Much like Jay, Theodore was another friend I made in university, but if I was being honest, I don't think he actually enrolled in anything. He just showed up ever so often to keep his attendance rate up and to antagonize some of the students and staff. As if reading my mind, Theo practically runs into Rin with the sole purpose of sending him tumbling into the metal railing behind him. But luckily Rin managed to catch his footing at the last second, sending Theo an annoyed skull of his own. Holy crap, sorry about that. I'm not sure how I missed such a brightly colored children's mascot. Is he making a reference to Sonny J. Jack? Because Sonny J. Jack's a Yandere too. He's like has a Yandere sensor. Alright, there's no need for that. Despite Leon's tone, Theo barely pays the shorter man any mind, simply far more interested in Rin instead. Let me guess, you dressed up as Benny the Buttercup? My 4-year-old cousin would love you. Hey, knock it off, mate. What's your problem? I don't know what's yours. You're the one that pushed... okay, I know he's a Yandere, but you're the one that pushed him. So what is your problem, Theo? What is your problem? What is your malfunction? And I'm just saying that as a joke. I could practically feel the tension between the two growing to grow as I decided to step in. You should introduce each other first before you try growing each other to death. Theo, this is Rin. He's I'm her boyfriend. Well, that's certainly one way to put it, especially without discussing it with me beforehand and asking for my opinion. At his words, I shoot Rin a confused glance, but the determined look on his face had me buying back my words. Okay then, well, this is Theo, he's... How do you spawn? I don't know much about Theo, so I'm just gonna go with... He's a friend from university. Okay, you consider us friends. That's real cute, doll. Are we not friends? You used to show up to some of my classes at university. Which was weird because I'm pretty sure we studied different things. Maybe I just wanted to see you. thoughtful of him. Or see that you are what you were wearing underneath. Sir? No. Well, then, never mind. Okay, enough. Looks like we'll just dropped the issue. You really need to stop trying to pick fights with everyone, mate. Oh, don't get in your panties in a twist. I seriously doubt Buttercup's capabilities of harming a fly, let alone throwing a decent punch. Be warned, he's Yandere. That'll be surprising. You can drop the nickname. Nah, but I think Dollface over here should drop you instead. Besides, the nickname is kinda cute. Matches your style pretty well, don't you think, Buttercup? I see Ren's hand, clenching into a fist as he advances towards Theo. But thankfully, Leon steps in once more. Seriously, why don't we cool off? I'll cool off. Yeah, I think we're getting a bit too heated. Look, we're gonna head down the beach. I don't miss the way Leon sends Theo a sharp glare. Are you sure you don't want to join us, Digitwave? I promise to make sure Theo stays in his best behavior. If he's there, I'm probably not. He's a butthole. Sorry, Leo. I've already made plans with Ren. I seriously doubt that we'll be able to get along. And I seriously doubt they'll be able to get along. You know how Theo can get. Yeah, you got a point there. Well, alright then. He leans closer to me, almost as he didn't want there to eavesdropping. If anything happens, I'm in the area. Just come find me, okay? I will, thanks, Leon. I give him his arm a soft squeeze and turn my attention back to Ren. But by the time he looks at us, I can only assume that he didn't like how close I was staying to my childhood friend. Though, that could also be because Theo was still around, and also I couldn't blame him. Regardless, I reach for his hand once more, and tug him towards the calf, making a point of ignoring Theo's cross words as we went along. I barely notice how Ren's mood immediately changes when my attention is back on him, and he follows along like a lost puppy. We eventually arrived at Driftwood Cafe, and a smell of fresh pastries and brewed coffee flooded my senses as it waves through the open windows. And just as I thought, the cafe looks as though it had only recently opened, though it didn't seem as busy or crowded as I had anticipated. Pulling me from my thoughts, Ren ushers me into one of the empty tables before he goes off to make an order, with a pleased look on his face. It was a bit strange how he didn't want to look at the menu first, but I chalked it up to he wanted to surprise me. He barely gone for 5 minutes before he turned once more, taking a seat in front of me with a huff. A comfortable silence rushes over us, and I watch as his Aunt Somali fiddles with the end of his hair. Was he still concerned about Theo's said about his appearance here? Maybe it would be a good idea to take his mind off it. Hey, Ren? Almost immediately, he perks up with wide eyes. How did you manage to keep your hair so fluffy? It's always looked so good. He seems to flush instantly at my words. He simply ducks his head lower to hide his raying cheeks. You like it? I usually just angle a blow dryer from my chin and blast the heat, and it just stays like this afterwards. Oh, so you really don't use any product or anything? Not really. Just then, I thought he got over his timid personality, and so I came crawling back. Was this really who he was? Ren must have taken my silence as a lack of response, saying as he tries to strike up in their conversation. So, work's going good for you, huh? Finally got that promotion? Yes, I did. I was honestly surprised when I first got my promotion, considering how I only moved back here recently. But Eleanor has been really helpful by showing me the ropes and... Wait, how did you know I got promoted? Oh, your co-worker told me all about it yesterday after you left. Eleanor, right? She seems really proud of you. Anyway, right, so he didn't get it. Did he not kill her? Just joking. Anyway, it still says she's there. Okay. Anyway, what were you saying about her showing you the ropes? I barely noticed how he managed to change the conversation back to me as I recounted all the times Eleanor helped me through my first week of working at the library. It eventually reached to the point where it felt like I'd been talking for hours, and it wasn't until something caught my eye that I finally stopped. How would you respond? That goth style is pretty. You guys, I want to not get distracted from him, just so he doesn't hurt someone. You got something in your hair, huh? At my words, Ren seems almost bashful as he secretly stares, picking at the strands of his pink hair. But he seems to miss the small piece of fluff, no matter how many times he tugs at his roots. Here, let me. I strip a laugh. I reach over to the table to pluck the offending item out of his hair. Ren only seems to lean closer into my touch, while his cheeks flush a light shade of red. And just as I pull the piece of fluff out, Order 25! Oh yes, that's us. Wait right here. I'll be right back. Before I could get a word in, Ren is jumping off his seat and mandling his way towards the kiosk. It was really a sight to behold, seeing Ren towering over most of the other customers who were waiting in line. Even the cashier herself, who seemed to be at least 6 feet tall, had to crane her neck forward just to look at him. But before I could blink, Ren was already on his way back with a large tray full of delicious food. What's up with Yandere's and being tall? He sits himself up back in the original spot with a pleased smile and begins to lay out the dishes in front of me. Well, this is ice spawn. A chocolate croissant, a big slice of cake, a sugar cookie. It's breakfast, but cake. A big slice of cake. A generous slice of cake. It sits next to my beverage, and I almost hear my stomach rumble at the sight. How did Warren know that this was my favorite thing to order? Granted, it wasn't like I've been to Driftwood Calf before, but this was usually why I ordered in the other calf. I don't think calves have cake, though. It was honestly like he could read my mind. Are he stalking me? And what was really more mind-boggling was that he didn't even need to look at the menu beforehand. It was like he just knew. Don't forget your drink. Ren shouts at me and shoots me another gentle smile before replacing my drink before me. No way! The drink he placed in front of me, well, it was... How do you respond? A frappuccino? A can of soda? A smoothie? A steaming latte? A smoothie? Most because I don't drink coffee, unless it's a frappuccino, it like has a lot of sugar, or has a lot of creamer if I do it from the Keurig. Which currently right now I have to be at work, so I'm gonna go with a can of soda. The first drink was certainly appealing, especially considering that it was my favorite flavor, Dr. Pepper. Just like the ones I usually buy on my way to work sometimes. I hope it's okay. Unfortunately, the cafe doesn't really have much to offer, judging from the menu I saw online. Has Dr. Pepper? I think this cafe has a lot of stuff then. So that's how he knew what to order. I even tried asking for napkins earlier, but I don't think they heard me. Maybe I should try again? I almost feel bad for him, but I almost felt grateful for ordering me something that I would normally eat at a cafe. Which I don't think they have cake or Dr. Pepper in a normal cafe or a coffee shop. Ren makes sure everything is on the table before putting the tray down. It was then that I noticed what he ordered himself. His plate was a strawberry sweet roll, alongside a cup of coffee that was an alarming shade of black. He seems to pick up on my inquisitive stare. And if an innocent tip of his head was anything to go by. Do you want my meal instead? We can swap if you want. I don't mind. This was supposed to be a date. Deciding to tease him a little, I sent Win a sly grin. It's okay, but if you offer me a bite instead... Rin almost feels it seems to combust at the spot as his cheeks turn red, and he almost chokes out his own spit. He looks down at his food before glancing back at me, only to look down once more to scoop up a bite-sized piece of his food. I watch his Rin's cheeks turn a deep shade of red while he brings his fork closer to me, and not wanting to be seen as a coward, I lean in to take a bite. His eyes widen almost immediately, and he seems hyper-focused on the way my mouth wraps around the fork before I lick my lips and let out a pleased hum. It's yummy. Try some. The pink-haired man seems to have awkwardly long staring contest with his own fork before scooping up a small piece and taking a bite. Rin's cheeks are still scarlet red and almost fidgety with how his leg keeps bouncing under the table, so I decided to take pity on him and not tease him for it. With a knowing smile, I start digging in my own food with a pleased hum. Eventually, we end up finishing our meal and deciding to go do a bit of window shopping to pass the time. I had nothing else to do today, and Ren seemed insistent on spending the rest of his time with me, so I agreed. We passed a few clothing shops, ice cream stands, surfboard rentals, and many other interesting buildings, though nothing really caught my eye. Just as I thought I'd lose all hope, one store in particular catches my eye. In one display window, I spot this cute little rabbit plushie in a style of Hakuga's likeness. I mean, it really came with his limited edition soccer outfit and everything. I couldn't believe they were selling these things here, of all places, at least and at such a cheap price too. Ren seems to notice that I wasn't in a not so subtle gawking at was. Ren seemed to notice what I was not so subtly gawking at. But before we could enter the store, the cashier walks in front of us from the display stand and blocks our view. She drops a box of miscellaneous items on her feet and begins stocking the shelf up to the plushies next to the plushies before she even notices us standing by the window. I don't miss the way her eyes widen at Rin, obviously taking an immediately liking to him, and almost shamelessly pushing a stand of her hair behind her ears before giving him a small wave. Was she like Yandere? You might want to back away. Fair warning. Sneaking a glance at the taller man beside me, I noticed how Ren wasn't even paying attention to her. Instead, keeping himself busy by scratching at his jaw and kicking at the stray cobblestone rocks by his feet. But the cashier seemed so adamant about getting Ren's attention, considering how she felt the need to abandon her spot by the shelves and make her way towards us. She's like right next to him now. Oh, hi there. Welcome to Seaside Trinkets. My name's Olivia. How can I help you with? How can I help you with today? Can I help you with anything? No. Oh no, we're just looking around, but thanks for... We recently got new beachwear merch if you're interested in checking them out. Was she seriously ignoring me? Oh, you kind of look like someone I know. Have we met before? Maybe we went to the same school. Me? I don't think so. Oh really? I would have remembered a face like yours. Actually, now that I got a good look at you, I watch as she shamelessly takes in Ren's appearance before crossing her arms over her chest and leaning back. You remind me of one of those characters from a cartoon that's been gaining a ton of traction here. Oh, she's a fan too? Apparently one of the locations from the show is based on Coral Bay's main beach. Are we talking about Attack on a Giant? Oh, is that the name of it? Then yeah. Okay, she's not a fan. I don't really know much about those cartoons, but our company recently started selling some stuff for the to entice the tourist. Do you want to come inside and take a look? Rin doesn't seem to answer her question. Instead, casts a inquisitive glance in my direction. It was like he was asking me for my opinion, and I can only assume it was because he knew about my interest in anime. It was thoughtful of him to do that, but I kind of wanted him to tell that rude rooker off instead. She's not really being rude. Well, she's being rude to me. But she also could be, just really into him and just forget that I was there. And wait, did I really need want him to do that? What was wrong with me? I'm sure that the cashier just took an interest in him, and was nothing wrong with that. It's not like we were a couple or anything, but we were supposed to be on a date right now, and Rin did declare himself my boyfriend earlier. I just assumed he said that in order to get Theo off my back. Before that, does that mean was he feeling the same way as me? Was jealousy on his mind when we talked to Leon and Theo earlier? I wasn't sure, but I felt about how I felt about this new discovery. Did you wave? Huh? Do you want to look at the items? We still got a bit of time to kill. Hey, why don't I show you the most recent stock? We haven't shown this to the general public yet, but I'm sure you'd love it. Without warning, Olivia, what's her name again? Was that her name again? Reaches out for Ren's arm and practically drags him inside the store. He lets out a surprised sound before leaning back and trying to grab hold of her. He leans back out surprised. He lets out a surprised sound before leaning back and trying to grab a hold of my own arm as well, but it was just out of his reach. There was nothing else I could do but watch as Ren helplessly gets pulled into the store. In the back, here, it's the back here in the stock rooms. Usually you don't allow customers downstairs, but you're a real hottie, so I'll let you take a sneak peek. No, actually, I'm good. Don't worry. We won't get caught. I'm sure your girlfriend won't mind if I borrow you for a bit. Okay, so you acknowledged I might be his girlfriend, but you're still doing this. I don't care what's coming to you because those are the worst type of people. Go find your own person. If there's someone's boyfriend or girlfriend, do not try to take them away from each other. If it doesn't work out, it won't work out. Then you might have the shot later. But if they're taken, they're taken. I even threw in some of those cartoon stickers for you. Surely they'll make it worth your time. The wink she sent him felt like a little obsessive, and I honestly wish Ren would turn around so I could gauge his reaction. And he's ready to go stabby, probably. But instead, he leans in closer to her face and whispers in a hushed tone that I could barely hear from the spot outside the store. If she wasn't staring right now, I would blink down the stairs without a thought. I would shove you down the stairs without a thought. I think that's what he's saying. And honestly, they're nothing more than I would do. Oh, that's probably what he said. From the current position, it looked like as though... From the current position, it looks as though they were having a really intimate conversation, and I felt the surge to look away. Was I getting too bored over this? I know we weren't exactly together, but Ren shouldn't be off flirting with other people, well on a date with someone else. No, he's friending her. That reaction changed. I would have never wanted to be in a relationship with someone who wasn't considerate of my feelings, and up to now, I honestly thought Rin would have had a chance. I guess I was wrong. But still, there was this nagging voice in the back of my head that kept telling me not to give up on him so easily. Yeah, because he's... Sorry. He's literally just telling her he's gonna shove her down the stairs. He was the one who confidently stood his ground when Theo got a bit suggestive, so maybe I should do the same. Would he even mind? Before I could stop myself, my feet start to move on autopilot, and I march towards the two of them and reach for Ren's sleeves. I give it a hesitant tug, and I swear I could almost feel the leaf wash over his body because of it. Ren's tired demeanor seems to change in the moment, and he turns to me with a relieved smile on his soft features. I don't really have any interest in the store. Can we go somewhere else? Yes, of course. Wait, hold on. Ren crossly shoves Olivia's outstretched hand aside and gently places an arm over my shoulder instead. And just like that, he's already guided me out of the store and back to the busy street. I hear Olivia sputtering out, confused sounds as she watches the two of us leave, and suddenly I felt guilty for causing a rift between them. No. No matter how many times I tried to push it aside, I still couldn't get my mind off what had just occurred earlier. What if Rin was interested in her? Granted, he probably shouldn't have blatantly flirted with her while on a date with me, but he wasn't exactly the most confident guy. Maybe would he still be able to talk to her again if things didn't work out between us? No, I shouldn't be thinking like that. Peering up to Garage's expression, I noticed how he didn't seem to look all that upset about leaving her. If anything, he seemed rather content to be walking down the street with his fingers entwined with mine once more. I can feel him give my hand a protective squeeze as he looks down at me with his soft blue eyes, and all my worries would somehow melt away. Maybe I did make the right choice after all. It might be selfish, but it was worth having Ren look at me with such gentle expression. Eventually the sun starts to set behind the ocean as Ren and I continue to walk along the beach walk. Most of the conversation was geared towards me and my interests again, but every time I tried to warn about Ren, he only seemed to divert the conversation back to me once more. But the more I focused on this odd behavior, the more I began to pick up on his social habits as well. I learned that Rin would suddenly pick up at the sleeves of his cardigan whenever he got nervous, or how he scratched at his jaw whenever the conversation stayed down a path that he didn't seem comfortable with. His little quirks told me more about himself than the dead-end conversations that only led back to me, and I was content with knowing more about him than I did yesterday. Rin no longer felt like a stranger I had met at the library, but rather someone I could consider a friend. Except friends weren't supposed to get jealous whenever they see them flirt with someone else. Geez, what's wrong with me? It had barely been 2 days, and I was already contemplating whether or not I truly saw Rin in a romantic light. Oh, I want to check something. It takes forever 3 to 5 hours in. It's still that. Okay. Was I going too fast? All of these thoughts were starting to get a bit overwhelming, and... Angel, hello? Huh? You're spacing out on me again. There's that look again. He keeps peering down at me with such adoration in his eyes, and if I didn't know any better, I would think that he's already halfway in love with me. I'm gonna say probably more than halfway. He's stalking me. He's been stalking me before we started going on a date and sleeping in the same bed. We're going to Yandere without giving him what he wants. But this was very conceited thought. It probably wasn't even true. Sorry, I was just thinking about things. Are you going to share those things with the rest of the class? He sends a playful smile and gently nudges me to the side, and I couldn't help but laugh. When did we become so comfortable with each other? And when did he lose his stutter? It's nothing really. Maybe it's a bit embarrassing. But, well, I was wondering, how do you feel about... My sentence gets cut short with a drop of rain lands on my cheek. Instinctively, I look up and find myself wondering how I didn't notice those dark clouds in the sky center. All of a sudden, more droplets fall down, until it's all but pouring rain and forcing everyone in the area to find cover. Over here. Rin doesn't seem to pay much attention when he grabs me by my hand and pulls me underneath one of the awnings of the nearby building. He shows me from the rain with his body, and I couldn't help but feel tiny with the way his arms cage me in his rest them against the wall. Oh, I like this. I like the CGs. We look at each other in silence for a brief moment before erupting in laughter. Perhaps it was because of the adrenaline from all the panicked running, or the fact that Rin's hair was starting to lose its fluffiness, but I couldn't hold back from letting out the giggles. It only seemed to spur Rin as well, until we both wheezing out our lungs and gulping down air. I can't remember the last time I ran that fast. Me too. The woman's sound of thunder echoes from far and drowns out our laughter until we're both silent once more. Once we both calm down, Rin moves me further away from the rain before casting a glance behind him. Wait here. I'll buy us an umbrella so we can get out of this rain. But you'll get soaked. This is a sacrifice I'm willing to make. I roll my eyes as it's corny joke and send him off with an amused smile. He doesn't look back before he makes a mad dash out of the rain and down the street towards the closest convenience store. Though the rain only seemed to get heavier the moment he leaves, I find myself pressed even further against the wall behind me to avoid the recoil of the rain bouncing off the pavement. There wasn't much for me to do while I waited for Rin to return, aside from watching people scramble around for shelter. And just then, the carefully sound of laughter echoes from down the street. Capture my attention as I watch Leon, Theo, and Jay all run to cover like their lives depend on it. Well, it seems as though their beach outing got cut short as well. Glancing back once more, I barely make out the figure of Leon using his bag as a makeshift umbrella as he ducks under one of the awnings of an ice cream stand. Oh well, Theo and Jay trail behind in a leisure pace, kicking and splashing water at each other in the rain. I had to look away for a moment, and Theo started to remove his shirt, and I had the irking that it was so that he could show off. And knowing that Jay, he followed along without a care in the world, because that's what he always does when it came to his friends. Part of me felt like calling out the group to see if I could wait out the storm alongside them. But they all seemed to be enjoying themselves, and I didn't want to get them in between them, like that. Plus, I did promise Rin that I would wait for him here. Even if he was taking a sweet time. Was he ever going to return? There was no sign of him, or his comfy-looking cardigan. I was beginning to wonder if he really did ditch me. After all, it must have been more than 50 minutes by now. What if he got caught up with something? Or what if he went back to see that cashier lady again? To shove her down the stairs. Her store did happen to be on the same street, but after spending the afternoon with Rin and getting to know him, I could add that he wasn't the type of person to do such a thing. Probably shove her down the stairs. Plus, it wasn't really low blow, considering that he was the one who offered to take me out on a date today. Although, if I was being honest with myself, It did seem as though they had a chemistry. Especially with how she looked at him and touched his arm as though it was the most natural thing in the world. She apparently knew him as well, or at least he looked recognizable enough. Why did that thought make my blood boil? Thankfully, the rain was there to cool me off, as well as soak the ends of my outfit and make everything feel damp and uncomfortable. Was rain really coming back? It shouldn't take that long to buy an umbrella. Probably to kill someone. Wait for Rin. Now let's wait. Maybe something did come up. I'm sure he'll come back. As I found Q, I spot a familiar patch of pink hair from within the misty rain, and frankly sprinting with an umbrella in one hand and another bag under the other. Angel, digital wave! Ah, he almost slammed into me before stopping just in time, and I could tell by the way he was wheezing that he ran all the way here without stopping. Sorry, I thought I almost lost you there for a second. It's so hard to see in this rudder. Geez, Rin, what took you so long? I almost wanted to cuss him out for taking well over 20 minutes just to buy a single umbrella, but the genuinely patriotic look on his features made me hold my tongue. He bought the, if he has the, bear or whatever, he killed her. Sorry, I ran to your friends from earlier, which took forever for me to shake them off. And then the convenience store ended up closing early due to the weather change. And then I had to go to the awful souvenir shop with that obnoxious, clingy cashier again, and he was taking a mile a minute, and I was wondering if he ended up biting his tongue. Geez, I raised a hand and signaled him to calm down, and his tense monologue soon came to a halt. Okay, so he actually just went over there and killed her. I'm really sorry about making you wait so long, but ta-da! I did manage to get an umbrella, among other things as well, Okay, she's still there. Several days. I don't know what happened. Ta-da! I managed to get an umbrella, among other things as well, He gave me a small turtle in his hand, sending up droplets of water all over the place. We could start heading back home now if you want, unless you want to go somewhere else, somewhere Pacific. How do you spawn? I have no idea. Should we go? Forget, I'm going home. Where do you want to go? We could go to your apartment. We could go to my apartment. I'm gonna go with my apartment. We could go to my apartment. He probably won't want us to go to his apartment. Your apartment? Sure. It's close by anyway. I can walk you home. The image of me taking a nice warm bath after being out in the weather was too hard to resist, so I ended up eagerly stepping under Ren's umbrella before heading back home. In the end, Ren ended up walking me back home. Yet, despite being the one to hold the umbrella, he still got wet because he offered me most of it to me. Ren's really considerate, but it didn't stop me from feeling bad whenever I saw the wet patch on his shoulder. Eventually enough, my apartment entrance came into view, and I suddenly wished that time would slow down. I wasn't sure why, but I was enjoying my time with Ren, even though I still didn't know much about him. All that I did know was that he was very attentive when it came to me, and that he was willing to put in the effort to get to know me better. It was honestly very sweet seeing Ren being so considerate. He still came off a bit odd and eccentric at times, but that side of him was slowly starting to grow on me. Glancing back at the pink-haired man beside me once more, I watch as he casually twirls the umbrella in his grip and shoots me a playful smile. It seems as though he shared the same sentiment as me, judging by how his feet start slowing down the movement, and we ascended my partner's stairs. Case. With a smile, I turned to face Ren, only to realize that he was already looking at me with all too familiar soft grin. So here we are. Thanks for going out with me today. I'm sorry it got cut short because of the weather. I really should have looked at the weather app before leaving, huh? It's fine. Maybe we could try this again another time. Maybe one day without rain. Yeah, I like that. We stand at the entrance for a while before I let you spawn. We're gonna kiss him. Before I could stop myself, I take a step closer to Rin and gently pull him closer to by the front of his cardigan. He seems surprised at my actions with how wide his eyes get, but it doesn't stop me from leaning forward and pressing a soft kiss on his lips. The taste of cherry lingers when I pull away, and I watch with a slight movement as Rin's cheeks instantly flare a deep scarlet. Thank you for walking me home. I could almost feel the steam raise from his head as he remained slouched over position, so I awkwardly pat his chest to get him to loosen up. I mean, yeah, of course, don't mention it. He almost bumps his head with the umbrella as he leans back, but remains close to my side. Well then. Much like the first time I met him at the library, I awkwardly gestured to the door behind me as I tried to find a way to excuse myself. Rin really made these kind of situations difficult. I should head back inside now, and you should get out of this rain. Well, yeah, I probably should. He still makes no sign of leaving, which made me wonder if he was waiting to make sure I made it in safely inside my apartment, or if, to test the theory, I gave him a small wave and turned on my heel. Well, before you go, this is for you. Without another word, Rin shoves the bag he was holding in my arms okay, so with a forced smile. Peeling inside, I noticed the Hakureki flush I had been eyeing earlier. He really went out of his way to get this for me. Wow. Well then, I'll be going. Goodbye, Angel. Before I could spawn, Ren is already turning his heels and walking out the same way he came. Actually, I wonder what would happen if we go to his apartment. We could go to your apartment. My apartment, sure. It's not that far away. We could wait out the storm there if you like. I even have a heater and dryer we could use. The image of me sitting in front of a warm, cozy heater was too hard to resist, so I end up eagerly stepping under Ren's umbrella while he leads the way. Despite the downpour of rain, we managed to make it to Ren's apartment, complex in one piece. I guess he really wasn't lying when he said his apartment wasn't far from mine. And judging from the pristine interior and fully functioning elevator, his building seemed to be far better shape compared to my apartment. The elevator ride could have been a lot less awkward though, if it wasn't for the slow ascended and tacky music. And for the fact that Rin deemed it appropriate to shake his hair like a wet dog and get wetter droplets everywhere. Or driplets everywhere. Once our door slid open, I was immediately met with a grain-less corridor and a large, spacious doors, and I felt myself wondering how much it costs to live in a place like this. Don't look too hard at how messy my place is, okay? I wasn't expecting to have someone over today, so I didn't bother cleaning up. I'm getting a weird sense of deja vu. Thankfully, I don't have any white-haired neighbors who like to take their plants on walks. Touché. Actually, now that I think about it, it's a bit strange. No one lives on the floor besides me, and I don't really know why. But I'm not sure. I'm not gonna complain. I can make as much noise as I want, and no one would notice. Ren shoots me a merciless grin, and I find myself wondering what he meant by that. Look, like loud music and stuff, movies. Yeah, something like that. He locks the door with some electric card attached to his keychain, and the moment the door slides open, I let out a audible gasp. Rin doesn't seem phased in the slightest as he flicks on the lights and walks into his own home, but I could only stand at the entrance to his floor in shock. His floor? He had a whole dang floor in his apartment. Was this even an apartment? Surely a penthouse would make more sense. Holy crap, Rin? Is there something wrong? What is it? I know the tier is kind of tacky, but it came with the apartment, and I haven't found the right time to do anything about it yet. I'm sorry, but are you the long lost heir of a billionaire or something? This place is huge. And hello? Is that marble? And no, I get paid a lot for my job, enough to afford rent at least. You know, I don't think I asked you this, but what exactly is your job? My job is, well, I guess you could say I'm a programmer? I don't know. I just take on a few jobs every so often. Nothing super fancy or anything. Nothing so fancy, Ren? You have marble flooring. Leaving the newly discovered programmer at the entrance, I carelessly ventured further into his apartment. Marble's a pain in the rear to clean, too. Oh, Angel, do you want some slippers? The floors can get cold, and your shoes are probably soaked, right? Turning around, I noticed Rin opening a small closet and pulling out a pair of black house slippers. He looks at me with a curious expression, but makes no effort to hand them over. Oh, only if you want them. I'll take them, but only because they look like they're douchey. No. That's not how I would. Ren lets out a puff of laughter, though his nose at my joke. Laughter for his nose at my joke, but doesn't seem to deny it. They were slippers really from a luxury brand. As I put them on, I noticed how they were in my exact size, and it made me wonder if he had bought a bunch of excessive house slippers in various sizes. Expensive house slippers in various sizes. Yeah, I'm gonna have questions if you have my shoe size, sir. Questions. To put in context, my shoe size is American woman's 5.5. American kids 3.5 too, and Japanese Chinese it's 22.5. I can't remember what it is for Europe, but it's small. But as funny as they were but as funny as as that measuring was, how did Rin accurately guess my shoe size without seeing my feet? Yeah, I tell everyone. But it's fair. I thought it was a 6.5 for a long, a 6.5 for the longest time. But no, I can imagine my mom's shoes. I can literally just walk around in 5.5s. Here, why don't I show you the bathroom? I'll find you something to wear in the meantime. But your clothes are your clothes are in the dryer. Or would you prefer a towel instead? I guess that'll make more sense. Oh, sorry. I don't usually bite people in. Over. Seeing that his timid side surfaces once more once more gave me the sudden urge to tease him. Yeah, if you don't invite people in, how do you know my shoe size? Okay, so she did. The third one was still there. I still kill her. You never know. Spare her body. Seeing his timid smile reverse from once more gave me a sudden urge to tease him. How do you spawn? Just a towel. Is Egyptian cotton. Do you have any friends? Am I your first house guest? Just a towel? Just a towel, nothing else? Yeah, to keep you warm instead of taking a shower. Unless you prefer a blanket, because I'm sure I have an electric... Oh. It was as if the gears inside his head were finally clicking together. No. I meant a towel that you could wear, well, over your clothes. Not just you in a towel, unless you want to. But that's why would you... I'm just going to shut up now, sorry. That wasn't what I meant at all, but his reaction was priceless nevertheless. Anyway, I'll show you the bathroom. You can use whatever you want in there. Nothing is off limits. First, it was offering to spend the night at my place. Then it was asserting himself as my boyfriend in front of my friends. He doesn't seem to care about personal boundaries, huh? I was beginning to think that Ren didn't really seem to mind when it came to me invading his personal bubble as well. Though he did seem pretty standoffish around Theo and Leon, and it took him a while to warm up to Eleanor back at the library. He even seemed indifferent when he first met Violet, but I figured it was only because he was shy, and that she's kind of weird taking her plants out for walks. Let's put that in perspective. Speaking of being shy, I'd still notice how Ren didn't seem to be switching up his personality as much anymore, and I was beginning to think that he was just showing me his real side. Up until now, everything felt real and genuine, and I found that we could bounce back witty retorts between each other far more easily. Though every now and then, he might slip up and stutter, but I just assumed it was because my teasing made him flustered. Or maybe the timid side was John after all. But I'll leave some clothes for you outside, and put that plushie I bought for you in your room. My room? Wait, I'm staying here? Yeah, thanks. Great, I was zoning out again and completely missed half of what he just was saying. Something about clothes, a flush he bought. Was he talking about Hawkeye flush I was offering us up earlier? I mean, he was carrying a gift bag from the souvenir shop earlier. Did he really buy me that toy? Ren, however, didn't seemed to pick up on my confusion though, and finally opens the bathroom door for me with a soft smile. And so, without trying to make things awkward, I quickly slip inside and lean against the door for support. Which was unfortunate for me because one step out of the bathroom had me stumbling back in surprise. Whoa! Even his bathroom looked expensive. I was afraid of touching anything, fearing I'll accidentally break it and end up paying for it. Glancing around, I noticed how his countertop seemed to be void of any dental care, hairbrushes, skin products, even a bottle of bottles of concealer, and an open box of hair dye set in the corner near the sink. Though a few bottles of concealer and an open box of hair dye was set in the corner near the sink. I wonder what his natural hair color is. Well, I guess that answers my burning questions of whether or not he's naturally had pink hair. And now it made me wonder if Rin does dye his hair, and then what was his natural hair color? There were so many things I didn't know about the soft-looking guy, and I was beginning to question whether coming here was a good idea or not. Thus, I decided not to waste any more time thinking about the irrelevant things. Instead, turn my attention back to the shower. I quickly stripped out my clothes, and I jumped into the unnecessarily large glass booth and turned on the water on. Glancing at Rin's shelf and at limited hair products, I couldn't help but notice that one brand in particular so happened to be the exact same as mine. Did we use the same shampoo? He didn't really smell like me, but maybe that was because I wasn't paying much attention. I mean, who randomly smells people out of the blue anyway? Shaking my head at such a silly notion, I began to scrub away the lingering smell of rain from my body and quickly finished washing up. Bundled up in a warm towel, I cracked open the large door and poked my head into the hallway. True to his word, Rin left a small pile of clothing outside the bathroom, neatly stacked and propped against the side of the wall. Okay, we're gonna have questions that he has size too, which probably will end up being the context back inside. I noticed one piece of clothing in particular was a rare, comfy-looking hoodie, and the sign on front, however, was rare, morbid-looking, and didn't really suit Rin's vibes. Maybe from a horror film or something. I mean, it depends on the horror film. I've only watched Scream, so if it's Ghostface, I'll probably wear it. I actually loved that movie. He's striking my shoulders. I put the hoodie on and instantly get engulfed by the sheer amount of fabric. I mean, it made sense considering Ren's a large and lackey frame, but this was just absurd. I had to stifle a laugh from the assuming height and the fogged up mirror I had admitted that the soft fabric felt nice and warm against my skin. And we're gonna go seeing it was a black morbid hoodie, and in the beginning of the game, Violet was telling us that the guy had black clothes on, gothic kind of like looking. Yeah, it was definitely Rin stalking us, and he changed his hair color. Even the scent came from it felt oddly comforting somehow. Turning back to the remaining clothes in the pile, I gently pick up the next item and try on. Gray sweatpants didn't seem to fit the length of my legs despite the number of times I tried to roll this elastic, but thankfully Rin was thoughtful enough to give me other alternatives. The A dark pair of shirts seemed to be a better option, especially when it came with a drawstring and deep pockets. Once I was fully dressed, I step out of the bathroom and aimlessly walk around until I hear the faint sounds of the TV playing. Feeling curious, I follow the source of the sound down the hallway. Breaking news: a sunstorm hit the bay in gale force wind and knocked over street signs and even awnings. Guess believe that the sun changed and weather will die down soon, and to stay safe indoor. I continue to follow the noise until it suddenly cuts off and changes into a gurgling monotone sound, indicating that the television must have lost all signal. And soon enough, I found myself in Ren's spacious lounge room. Aside from the TV, the rest of the lights were cut off, but I could still make out most of the dark shapes from the room with ease. It seems as outrageous as the rest of the house, but I couldn't help but feel like it lacked any form of life. It just didn't seem like someone actually lived here. The furniture was gaudy yet tasteless, and there was hardly any personal decoration or colors, and there was nothing that really screamed Ren to me. Probably because he doesn't actually live there, he's stalking us. There are still personal touches, photos, items, hobbies, nothing, just a tacky furniture and bland smell of something sterile. If I was being honest, it gave me a sense of same vibes as a dentist clinic or a hospital. I mean, he did mention recently moving in, right? Maybe that's why. Who moved in? Surprised by the sound of voice, I spin on my heel, only to find Ren coming out from one of the hallways and with a new set of comfy clothing. I thought he had tattoos on his back. He seems more at ease like this, especially with the jealous expression on his face. I watch as he takes a respectful glance at my attire before sleepily averting his attention to the ends of his sleeve. Sorry, that's the smallest pair of clothing I own. It looks really good on you, though. Oh, thanks. You could even keep them if you want. The sound of thunder rumbling in the distance cuts off Ren's mumbling, and I inevitably step closer to him. Without missing a beat, he reaches out and rests a protective hand on my shoulder to steady me. Ren idly glances at the window before turning his undivided attention back to me once more, only this time with a determined look. It's really pouring, huh? I could only nod my head in his words, suddenly the feeling sleepless all of a sudden. I really should check the weather forecast before I went out today. But to be fair, it didn't look as though it would start spontaneously raining when I left my apartment this morning. And I guess I was enjoying my time with Ren to the point where I didn't even realize the weather was turning sour. Angel? Sorry, what did you say? I was just asking if you wanted to stay the night here, seeing how hard it is raining out there and your clothes haven't finished drying yet. It'll be no trouble, and I could return the favor, considering now you let me stay at your apartment yesterday. Staying at his apartment for the night, this place for the night, well, that certainly isn't how I expected to end my day. But would it really be that bad? It definitely beats waiting out the storm and walking home with a bunch of puddles everywhere. How do you respond? So, spend the night. Spending the night here is glitchy. Don't you want to check something? She's still there. Wonder if she actually, is dead. No jokes aside. Because I wonder why it's glitchy. Okay, how do you spawn? Okay, yeah, you don't want to do that. Because I'll give us a bad ending. I guess I could I guess I could stay if you're really okay with it. It's really okay with you. Of course, it's totally fine. Well, I really am an energetic, eccentric man, wasn't he? Let me know if you need any pillows or blankets, or if the room gets too cold. I haven't worked out how to use the fancy heater system yet, but I can definitely try. Also, you already know where the bathroom is, but if you... Okay, I get it, Ren. I assume a reassuring smile, and I turned to face him at the door. I could have gotten used to his attention. Wait, should I? I won't know. Sure, Ren, I would love to spend the night. Wait, what was that? Did I really just say stay the night? Sure, Ren, I would love to spend the night. Wait, what was that? Did I really just say stay the night at Ren's place? I guess I did. I didn't really remember otherwise. I guess I could stay, if it's okay with you. Of course, it's totally fine. Oh, he really is an energetic, eccentric man, wasn't he? Okay, so it does not matter. Okay, it doesn't matter what you say. I would probably just rather do this. Oh, I guess okay. Now let's just go back. Let me know if you need any more pillows or blankets, or if the room gets too cold. I haven't worked out all the how to use the fancy heater system yet, but I can definitely try. Also, you already know where the bathroom is, but if you... Okay, I get it. Get it, Ren. I assume a reassuring smile as I turned to face him at the door. I should have gotten used to his attentive and observant behavior by now, but it still felt like a foreign side of him that I haven't fully uncovered. Still, at least he wasn't stuttering as much anymore. I am, but that's besides the point. I know, sorry. I just want you to be comfortable as possible, so just treat the house like it's your own. Alright, gotcha. He looks like he doesn't want to leave, and instead lingers in front of the door a little while longer. Are you sure there isn't anything else you need? Anything at all? How do you respond? Can I sleep in your bed instead? I'm totally doing this. You want in my room? Did I just say that? I can't keep letting these intrusive thoughts win. I don't mind, but what's wrong with the guest room? He peers behind my head and glances around the room behind me before sheepishly meeting my gaze once more. I mean, we did sleep in my bed together. Nothing wrong. I just want to tease you a little bit, as all. Sorry, I don't really know why I said that. Oh, don't worry about it then. And to be honest, I kinda enjoy it when you tease me. Well, if anything is okay, everything's okay. I I'll let you get some sleep then. Yeah, okay. Alright then. Great, I see it and I successfully made the woman completely mortifying again. Good night, Digital Wave. Sweet dreams. Good night. I watch in silence as Ren turns on his heel and makes his way towards his own room down the hall. Shaking my head as odd behavior, I close the door behind me and slowly make my way towards the bed. I noticed the Hakurai flesh Ren had bought me earlier was sitting on top of the sheets, and I gently bring it closer to my chest to give it a soft squeeze. So he really did buy this for me after all. The faint hint of cherry emits from the toy, making my mind drift to the thoughts of the strange pink-haired man once more. He was still as odd as usual, but most parts of him were starting to feel rather endearing. I noticed how he was no longer stuttering as much or actively as shy. It made me wonder if we were getting closer. Not that I really thought about it. How did I feel about Ren? How I spawn. He's kind of creepy. I think he's alright. I think I like him. I'm crushing on him. We're doing this. Okay, maybe I did find him rather endearing and attractive. Ren was considerate and attentive towards me during our date, and I could see myself wanting to go on their date in the near future. He certainly had boyfriend material, and I still needed to work out the nerve to make it lean towards that direction. He seems far too hesitant to do it himself, but it would have been nice to see him put more effort into it as well. Well, he did buy you the flush as well. Just knowing Ren wanted to spend the entire day with me is enough. Rolling onto my side, I hugged the flushy closer so I could be surrounded by his comforting scent and slowly drift off to sleep. End of day 2. Okay, I'm gonna save. Well, I have to go to day 3. Do it. I'm gonna save and in here for today. If you want my content, please subscribe, like, do a lot, and comment down below. See you guys next time when we'll do day 3. Because there's only 3 days so far. So when the next day comes in, we have 3. So I think there's not day 14 days really, but if there is 14 days, there'll probably be 14 videos. But yeah, if you want my content, please leave a comment. Like the video. Dislike if you want help with the algorithm. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time.